Welcome to Optimal Frequency. I'm Grant. Talk to spirits here at my house using sources of white noise, yada yada, you know the routine. So I've opened up my book of mysteries and I have a mystery randomly selected, chosen by, actually I consulted the spirits, told them as I'm pushing this button on the computer here, I push it 3 times and I tell them pick a good mystery for me. So they have selected one that was suggested by Lake Angler, who's a member of my Reddit community over at Optimal Frequency that I set up. Anyways, he wants us to look into, let me get the exact name of it here, Secrets of the Nahanni, the Valley of the Headless Men. Okay, so this is, I'm assuming it's in Canada. A couple brothers went gold digging or searching for gold in 1908, the McLeod brothers. They were gone a long time, and their third brother finally said, okay, they're not back, I better go. We put an expedition together, go find them. They found them all right. The bodies had no heads. So, strange incident. But then like 40 years later, another prospector also disappeared. And same thing. They found him, his body anyways, in a sleeping bag without a head. Let's jump into this, see what we can uncover.
There. There. There.
Forgot my questions downstairs. I'll be right back. Since I'm here, maybe I'll ask the first question while I'm down here. So that's an interesting response because it tells us that they do have to shift a little bit, right? Like, even though I'm not standing at the sink, they can still hear me, they can still hear my thoughts, they're with me wherever I move, yet in order to maybe be heard on the camera, they're going to shift down to what they call the office, which it is an office. I mean, I'm sitting right here at my desk. This is what I call the dungeon. I prefer the name the dungeon just because it's cooler. But it's just interesting that they made a comment that they have to, like, hang on a second, we have to shift a little bit to keep communication. So, I mean, very interesting. So I just did my prayer of protection. Who did I want to speak to? Who did I ask my spirit team to bring through? ask my spirit team to bring through. Can you say the two brothers' names? Actually, there's a third brother. Can you say the third brother's name right now? Doesn't sound right. I'm going to go check it out. So this is super important to the research we've been doing. If you listen to the recorded tape of just the Sony sitting there looking at the TV, recording the sounds, you can hear these words that I'm hearing before we touch it with the software. What I'm going to show you is the next little space where I'm presumably still walking back to the sink. It's still they're still talking. I'm not going to put the words on the screen. During this, where you see the TV up on the screen where it's recording, just see if you can hear, one man asks a question and then somebody else says something. Okay, I'm going to play it twice, and then I'm going to put the words up that were filtered on the screen that I hear. And then if you want, you could go back and watch that part with the TV on the screen again. You will hear the same intonations exactly like I just showed you in the last clip. The story of two brothers, Willie and Frank McLeod, who were found without their heads, is one of the Nahanni's most infamous tales. Their bodies were found beside what is now known as Headless Creek, located in Nahanni Valley in the Funeral Range Mountains. The names of these landmarks alone demonstrates that the death of these brothers has left its mark. Guide Niels Ashfeldt has encapsulated the legend and the lore of the Headless Men in a poem he wrote while guiding on the Nahanni. It was 1904 and the McLeod brothers 3 set out to find gold on the old Nahanni. Willie and Frankie and Charlie all came. Didn't they know they would earn deathly fame? If you're going on a trip, you ought to go in style. So they took the scenic route to make it worth their while. They took the train to Vancouver, a boat to Alaska, and mushed up Stikine River by dog sled to go faster. I mean, if that is some of the craziest stuff you've ever heard, okay, remember, I'm not making these voices up. This is what gets recorded and put on there, okay? I don't know what to think of that. I mean, it makes perfect sense. If somebody was asking about me and they call a person who communes with them a prophet, right? It's not some big title. It's just, who's the dude talking to us? They tell them, it's Grant. Oh, well, let's get started. Come on, guys. No. He's earthbound. We have to stay here to do this session. I think that's what's going on. Okay, so I asked my spirit team to bring in Frank and William McLeod, the two brothers that went prospecting in 1908 up into the Nahanni Valley. Okay, so I'm going to start by asking you gentlemen, was it about the adventure or was it more about getting rich? So there you have it. Three brothers head out to the wild exterior, searching for riches, trying to make a buck back in the day when life wasn't so easy. Lots of interesting answers there. You got to join us for part 2. I just finished editing it, and you will find out, as well as I did, exactly what happened to these two guys, and the answer might surprise you. I know it surprised me. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next episode.